Okay, so when you want to shade, you gotta get a good color. This is a bad color, but you're gonna want to get like a decent color. So for something that like show, I'll do like green. Green's good. And you're gonna want to get like a dark color, but like not too dark. If it's like, if you do like that, it's gonna look weird. For example, if you shade, well, you can shade with like a dark color like this, but usually it'll look odd unless you like lower the opacity, English. Um, but what you want to do is, you can do this if you want, but it will look kind of odd. You want to use like a color like this, and what I do personally is I like take whatever I have here. I'm just gonna deselect some of this, but you basically you just scribble a bit with the marker tool, which is I used to not do that. I used to just use the airbrush, but now I use the marker tool. Basically, oh my god, this is like horrible. Okay. You take the marker tool with your color. You could also use like different colors. I could use blue. I think that looks fine. What I do is I take a big tool, and I do that. I just stroke like slightly, and then I use the blur tool and I kinda blur it out a bit. Just a little bit. And you can, and then I take and then I take the marker tool and I lightly shade it. Basically, all I use is the marker tool. See, like, if you do that, it gives it, like, more depth, like, as you're shading. If you keep, like, doing the dark lines and then shading it like that, it'll look fine. Like, this doesn't look amazing, like, compared to what I usually do, but, like, it looks fine, I guess. You know, for, like, a quick doodle. See, if you leave part of it unblurred and part of it blurred, it usually looks fine. It looks okay. But also, you have to make sure that there's always a consistent light source. So, like, this is constantly, there's always gonna be light coming from this side, like, pointing this way. And there's never gonna be, like, shading like this. Because if you shaded like this, it makes it so with, like, the light's coming right here, but it's not supposed to be, like, for this drawing I'm making right now. So you wanna usually use a darker, you can switch from like the bigger and smaller strokes. Like, I use like big strokes for stuff like this, because it makes it like, it makes it bigger but at the same time like softer. If you use small tools, it's for like sorry, it's for very light details. I just noticed that it has like a weird dot nose. That's really weird. I don't like that. I'm gonna erase that. I don't like that nose. That nose looks weird. And yeah, it looks fine. And okay. Pretty sure that's supposed to be white, but I'm just gonna keep it green. And then I take a big brush and I make a new layer. If you use, not a big brush, yeah. If you do it on the same layer, it kind of gets weird, so I wouldn't recommend that. It like mixes together with other things, but it looks odd. Okay, I usually do that, but and then it just gives it like a tiny bit of like more shading, so it doesn't look like half of it is weird and how the other half isn't. Also, I don't like how that's so dark. Okay. and then you have to wrap it around more. And then I take like a really dark thing, like this. No wait, yeah, okay. I take a dark one, like really dark, and I just go in more and you do dark, like really dark. Like, so it's a very big difference. You can also do it for like things like that, like behind the ears and the bottom of the neck. Usually I don't do it that hard, but like that's kind of what it looks like. And if you want, you can do something like that. So like, I don't know where the bottom of the eye is. It's like, this base is really weird. Okay. And then I usually shade it like that. It's really messy right now, but it's kind of what all of my drawings look like up close. They're just really messy. That's basically what it's gonna look like. And now you go for the body. I don't like that. I don't like this belly button. It's gross. Okay. For the body, I usually... The body is basically the same as the head. It's very simple. Well, not really simple, but like, it kind of... This is another way you can do it. Just like get really messy with it and just wrap it around, do whatever you want. And just give like a basis of what you want it to look like when it's done. Like you want it to be like this, like wrapped around. And then... Okay. You do that. Like you want it to look like this, but like not so messy. So basically you just do this. You just like screw around with the marker tool. And then you take the blur tool, of course, and you smooth out all of this so it mixes together. And you basically just do the same thing you did before. You can also you can lower the transparency a bit if it looks weird, which this kind of does because it's like a one thing. And then I make a new layer. You can merge down layers so they look, so you clean up your space. And this is basically like, it's not that hard to do, it's really simple. It's kind of messy, but I guess that's kind of the charm of it, because it's messy. And I just realized that it looks like they're wearing like shading shorts. That looks weird. I should probably fix those. This base is really weird. Why do they have like weird anatomy like that? I just started off using the dark shading because it gives like a basis for the legs. Gives a basis for them, and it lets you like get an idea of what you're gonna do. I was gonna make a joke there, but I decided not to. Don't want to deselect. Make sure you got it selected. The body looks a little funky, but I don't have to do. I'll put in like the light bits at the end. Which is like really what makes it look good when you add the... You can also, when you add like the shiny bits, you can add like shadings to the kneecaps so it looks a little more 3D. Not 3D, just like, it's just basic, adding kneecaps to it. Unless you don't want to add kneecaps, which, I mean, you don't have to if you don't want to. But... I noticed that like the shading here doesn't look consistent, so I'm gonna make another layer so it doesn't mix together with the other ones. Because the marker tool is really weird sometimes. You're gonna wanna do something like that. I'm actually like, I can't tell what I'm doing. I don't know where my glasses are. Well, I do, they're like literally right in front of me. But you're gonna wanna... Like basically I'm just making assumptions that it'll probably look okay when I'm done. Like, it might. So this is like obviously like really light shading, like soft shading. It's not dark really. So it's not for like grungy stuff. Need a new layer. Hands are really hard and annoying to shade. Cause you have to be like, really small with them because the fingers are annoying. And, like, I'm really, like, inconsistent with hands. Sometimes they'll look fine, sometimes they'll look really stupid. This looks pretty weird so far, but it'll have to do. Also, this part right here is annoying me. It's all white for some reason. But, like, this is really, really fast. I mean, I'm trying to be fast. Shading takes me a really long time. But this is a lot faster than what I used to do. I used to, like, just use the airbrush, but that took way too long. And it looks really bad. My whole stuff looked really bad with, like, the airbrush. But, I'm almost done with this, actually. Kinda looks like he has a weird, like, lump down there. Sorry, she. Now we just need to do one more hand, and, that hand looks really weird to me. It kinda looks like a tentacle monster, like, that's his hand. I'm gonna add, like, the black line right after this. See, like, there's gonna be some inconsistencies. Like, I'm still really early on. Not really early on, I've been doing this for a while, but, you don't have to be, like, completely clean about it. You can take as long or as short as you want with shading. Just, like, see here, that looked weird, because this part was light for some reason. Because I was being lazy with it, so I wasn't sure what I was doing there. And here's again with, like, the blurring of the overlapping stuff, so it looks better. And I'll add the dark, so it looks more dynamic. See, this here didn't have any of the dark on it. By the way, credit for this base. Oh, the base. That's the person that made it down here. I don't like not giving credit. I'm almost done with this. After, I finish with the shading, I'll do the shiny bits. Like the shine on the body. But, like, it's really simple. You're gonna wanna practice a lot for stuff like this. Even though it is simple. It's pretty simple. It's hard to explain, like, not in words, and, like, obviously you're, like, watching. So you have to, like, really practice with this stuff. Like, stuff looks a lot better when you shade it. Like, it doesn't matter what kind of shading you do, really. It just, like, looks better in general. I'm kind of, like, sick of drawing this, so I'm kind of sick of this arm right here. It looks kind of bad, but okay. You can also, I'll just do, like, touch-ups on it so it looks better. See, if you just, like, you don't have to be, like, so bad about it. Not bad about it, but, like, you don't have to be so serious about what you're doing, because you can just blur. Blur tool is, like, the magic tool for this kind of stuff. Let's do this so it looks even more stupid. I don't like how, like, not dark that is. Okay. Okay. Once you do that, that looks bad. I'm gonna blur that more. Okay. Once you do that, you can open up another layer. So you have 10 layers just for shading. And what I do is I go to green, whatever color you're using, and I do shine. It looks kind of wiggly. It's kind of like that. And just put it wherever, like, the biggest source of light is. Like, I'll do it here. Like, sometimes, like, for different kinds of, like, texture, you don't want to do this because it will look odd. Like, you wouldn't want to do this for, like, a dog. But for, like, a naked green alien person, it works. And that looks weird right there. I'm gonna erase that. But I guess it's like a goo. It's kind of like gooey shine. This is, like, the only kind of shine I really know how to do. But it works for a lot of stuff. You'll want to shade, like, even, like, the fingers. Even the light parts of the fingers. Okay, after that, I usually take the eraser. Or, you don't have to, but I just do it to be, like done with it. I take it and it makes it look like less like you just took the freaking marker tool or the pen tool and just like drew. Makes it look like you tried harder, pretty much. And once you do that, you're gonna want to take the blur tool, magic blur tool, and just like lightly shade out into the dark area. Like, you don't want to shade this part because it will look weird, because it will look like the light's coming from this side when it's not. So you shade like the side that's facing the dark area, and you don't have to shade that much, just make it so like it blends out better. And once it blends out, it'll look fine. Well, I guess. Ugh, I don't like that. And you can also take the density, turn the density down on your brush and your eraser, and like lightly do it, so it's less bright. Because you want it to be like light. You want it to be like simple. You don't want it to be like super obvious, because it will make them look even more glossy than they already do. Okay. And now I should do this, which I really should have done earlier, but I should have added like this. You have to... And shading things like this, like I use the... For like body parts overlapping, for some reason I like to do this, which is take the black, which is probably not a good idea, but I do it. And I kind of do that, and that. And when I do that, I then... I don't know why I do it, but I do that, and then And then, of course, you blur it. So it's, like, more natural, I guess. I mean, it looks kind of odd, but it's a bad example. Oh, and you lower the opacity a lot for these. And... I mean, that's basically what you're gonna get. Like, it's really simple, even though it took a while for me to do this. I mean, of course it doesn't take that much longer when you're, like, not talking during it, but... Especially when you're, like, trying to multitask by doing this crap. And, I mean, that's basically it. You can... I mean, it's not the best thing I've ever shaded, obviously, and it's got, like, a lot of problems, like, for this. Which I should probably erase later. But, like, I don't like adding... Don't ever... Just don't ever combine your line art. Not your line art, your shading and your color. But I'm only doing a shading and your, like, normal base color. But I'm only doing that so I can erase this extra crap that, like, piled up because I didn't color it correctly. I was, like, really lazy while I was coloring this, but... You're gonna wanna do that. And fix those weird frog finger things. And you're basically gonna do this. I mean, it's really, really basic. It looked better than the other thing I drew like 10 seconds ago, but... And if you want, you can finally take out the frickin' airbrush. Not that color, that's a bad color. And use a light color and just like accent the shiny parts a bit. So they pop out more. You want it to be like, you want it to pop out but not like too much. You want it to be like shiny, but like not way too shiny. There's another thing I was going to talk about, but I kind of forgot what it was. You can also, for like eyes, that's not the direction I wanted to do. This is like the most freaking disgusting thing I've ever drawn. Okay. I don't know, I'll do that and like... Sure, that's fine. I've never like tried this. I've never like tried to do this, so it looked kind of odd. But oh my gosh, that looks really weird. Okay, that's basically what I meant to do. All right then, that's it.